Hey guys, welcome back. It's your boy Salami back with another video. Today we are doing another champion for Corepunk. Today we are talking about the champion class. So let's get into it, shall we? Noble warriors, champions seek out battles and live for glory. They unleash their rage upon foes like an unstoppable hurricane of power, breaking them with ease and knocking the absolute stuffing out of them. Champions bravely rush into battle, launching a volley of arrows, striking enemies with their mighty sword and rarely ever denting their shield. Their proud spirit, valor and nerves of steel never let champions down in a fight, and they bring victory after victory. So that's our little intro to the champion. Let's get into the subclasses. First off, we've got the Destroyer. Destroyers are melee heroes with a specialization in two-handed weapons. They have a high survival rate. They sweep right into the heart of battle, dealing a lot of damage to enemies fighting in a group. They can support their allies in critical moments by restoring team members' health for a certain amount of time. Destroyer dashes to a target area, dealing damage. Attack power used in the area in front of them, with all enemies affected by this barrier slowed, which is pretty cool. Destroyers throw their weapon at a target in a direction. It deals physical damage and spell damage to all enemies it hits in its path. Destroyer shouts and gets a buff for 10 seconds, which increases their health and their attack power. Enemies within a short distance of the Destroyer get reduced armor and magic resistance, which is pretty cool. The Destroyer has a jump that goes to a target location, deals physical damage. In the place of landing, all enemies in the affected are stunned, so that's pretty cool. And then their special ability, for each basic attack or use of ability which hits an enemy, the Destroyer gains 1% bonus attack power. The buff stacks up to 10 charges, and when the maximum amount of charges is reached, which is 10, movement speed is increased by 10%. The charge lasts for 5 seconds and refreshes after that. Activation of the special ability is available after 10 charges only, and you also start to whirlwind. They call it whirl, but I'm going to say whirlwind, dealing physical damage with their weapon every 0.5 seconds to all the nearest enemies for 1.5 seconds. After that, all empowered attacks are reset. So Destroyer is pretty cool. So a quick overview, he's got, for his special, you get to 10 stacks and you get increased movement and a whirlwind attack. You have a jump, you have a throw with a spear, you have your shout, and so it's pretty cool. And a dash. Next up, we have the Ranger for the champion. Rangers are heroes that use a bow and arrow. Toggling between two stances, they can choose to deal damage either to a target area or severely struck a particular target. Being part of a group, Rangers can be the main source of damage dealing, but also crowd control the route and slow enemies. The Rangers fires an arrow with a net in a target direction, which deals physical damage attack power to the first enemy it hits in its path, rooting them. The Ranger chooses a target area and for the next 2 seconds is attacked with a hail of arrows, so your AoE damage circle, once in a second, doing physical damage attack speed once in a second. All enemies in the area are slowed. All allies in the area gain bonus movement speed. So you're debuffing, damaging, and expending, giving bonus to your allies. The Ranger can toggle between 2 stances on the first stance. The Ranger's basic attacks reduce armor of a target and affects up to 5 stacks. When switching to the stance, all basic attacks will reduce the target's armor by 15. Basic attacks deal less damage in the second stance, but will slow enemies. When switching to this stance, basic attacks will additionally deal damage to the 2 nearest targets with on-hit effects for 6 seconds. Next ability, the Ranger fires a volley of arrows in front of them, dealing physical damage to all enemies affected by the ability. The Ranger leaps 4 meters back, so it's like a attack and roll, which is pretty cool. And then the ranger's special ability, basic attacks leave arrows in enemies. The ranger gains a bonus attack speed for each arrow. The effect stacks up to 10 times. The ability can be activated, which triggers an immediate explosion of all arrows stuck in enemies, dealing physical damage. While the ability is on cooldown, the ranger's basic attacks don't leave arrows in enemies. That's pretty cool. So, quick overview, the special ability is you can stack 10 arrows into an enemy and then explode them. They have a volley that they fire in front of them and then they jump back 4 meters. They have an AoE damage where enemies are slowed and allies are buffed. And then you have, what else did we have? We had a net as well to stun enemies, and you have your 2 stances for either doing increased armor damage or slowing. So I feel like the ranger's got would be quite good for leveling, kind of like the ranger. Right, and of course you've got the defender. They are the tanks who use their sword and shield in a melee fight. They can withstand a lot of incoming damage and help reduce damage to allies. While in a group, defenders taunt enemies to make sure that they're the ones being attacked the most, taking the most damage and attacks. The defender empowers their next basic attack. Powering a basic attack during 7 seconds permits them to hit a target with a powerful strike, dealing physical damage. After this empowered strike, the defender buffs themselves, which reduces incoming damage by 3%. This lasts for 10 seconds, stacks up to 5 times, and refreshes its effects period with each stack. They also have a shield throw at a target. If the shield hits a target, it bounces to enemies several times, dealing damage. The first target hit by the shield is stunned. They have a jump location, dealing damage upon landing, and taunt. Upon landing, they taunt all enemies and attack them for 2 seconds. And the next ability, they raise their shield for a short duration and reflects all incoming damage back to the enemy. While the defender is still able to move while reflecting the damage, preserving the type of reflected damage, the defender becomes immune to crowd control and damage. They also create an area behind their backs which allies can take reduced incoming damage. That's cool. And then the special ability for defenders, gain bonus armor and magic resistance for each enemy within 3 meters around the defender. So that one's a really strict one. More bad guys around you, the more you're going to get bonuses. So I think that's really cool. We really can't go wrong with some of this stuff. And I just want to say thank you so much for listening and watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See you all later.